Hey, lovers. Welcome back to another episode of Love to the Girls
We're your hosts, Alyssa.
and Jordan. Today, we're going to be talking about red flags in relationships. And honestly, this can be like, in romantic relationships or even friendships. So stick around. But before that,
Let's give some life updates.
I think we should do some life updates. So, what's going on in your world?
What's going on in my world? Well, I want to pose this question. What are you most looking forward to?
What am I most looking forward to? Honestly, I think I'm most looking forward to the weather cooling down,
Ooh.
the trees turning brown.
I'm a
and
new
auburn.
person when the
Yes.
fall air, crisp air
Yes.
starts to arrive.
Yeah, pulling the Uggs out of my closet, the jeans.
Is that your favorite season?
Yeah, I love.
Same.
I love my season. I say my season. Like whenever I think about my birthday's in October.
That's
and I always
true.
Think, yeah, I'm like, oh, my birthday's coming, but it's not because it's about me. It's because it's the season,
Yes.
the feeling. Yeah, and there's just I don't know. There's something about having long hair, like extensions in the fall. Like I can't really explain.
That's
I can't.
very specific.
And if you know exactly what I'm talking. It's just something about it, like it just
long
feels good.
hair in the
Yes.
fall.
Yes,
I always see it as like a prelude into the holidays.
like October's very own. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, summer's over. We had our fun. Now we're like in the fall weather.
Yeah.
Pumpkin patch, pumpkin spice. Like I do turn into a basic
Yeah.
like fall girl in the fall. But then like you have Thanksgiving. Then you have the holidays.
Yeah.
Then you have New Year's. You
Yeah.
know? So I always look forward to the holiday season.
Yeah. Q4. Q4 is
Q4.
like nothing tastes better than Q4.
I love that. So you're just looking forward to the fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you looking
Like
forward
nothing
to?
exciting that you guys are doing?
I mean, not really. Like life is pretty simple right now. We are I don't know. There's nothing really going on except this
True.
podcast. I look forward to this podcast and hanging out with you and
Yeah. True.
What about you?
I think I'm looking forward to getting to some kind of routine again because we just moved last November and we've just been going through a lot of changes, new job, new baby. We moved in the middle of the school year. So like the kids like joined this school that was half day and that was different for us. So
Yeah.
my daughter's starting kindergarten and the kids are going back to school. And obviously I went back to work after maternity leave. So I think, and Devon is starting like a new role again.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be brand new rhythms. And I don't know, I'm looking forward to just some normalcy, even though that will be interrupted again.
Yeah.
Like in the next 12 months because we're going to move again
Yeah.
in the next 12 months. But
Exciting.
anyways,
Routines are good though. I feel like routines feel good.
Me too. I need some like structure. Like I need some structure. I'm a structure person. I'd say.
you are.
Like,
You
do
are
you,
very structured.
do you like? Are you a spontaneous person or like?
You tell me. Am I?
I think you are.
For the most part, I'm spontaneous. But the older I get, I'm kind of like I lean more to the side of like routine and like I don't like a bunch of like changes, but
yeah. I mean, I love structure, but I like to structure some time for some
spontaneity.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Alyssa, what is something that you thought was a red flag in your marriage, but actually it was just a sign of a healthy relationship?
In my marriage,
Yeah, well, I mean, just in a relationship, but I would say in your marriage because you've been with the same person for
yeah, true.
a decade. And
There's
some.
like a couple of things, not that anything that I thought was a red flag, but things that were like unfamiliar. Okay, one thing about my husband is, and you can let me know if this is true,
Okay.
but sometimes he may seem like a man of few words.
Mm-hmm.
He's just always a deep thinker. Like,
Yeah,
he's introverted in the sense where like, yeah, he regains his energy when he's like by himself. He's in deep thought. And sometimes in the beginning of our marriage, whenever we would, have a small argument or like disagreement, he would process things internally and be very slow to speak, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought like, I'm just like loud and obnoxious. I'm not loud, but I'm like, word
Yeah.
vomiting. And
Yeah.
he's not like that. And maybe I thought like, why?
He's very intentional with his words.
He is. And that's one thing that I learned is that like he's intentional for that reason. He doesn't want to react out of emotion. And he takes some time to process like what I'm saying. And then he usually like goes away and like thinks about it and then come back and then we're able to resolve. I have learned that about him. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That
For
he's
sure.
not like a reactive like person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I can be a reactive person.
Yeah, you can be. It's okay. It's okay. We love you. We love you. We accept you. We do.
I like speak my intrusive thoughts. Like I speak every thought and I don't think that I should. I'm working on it, but anyway, go ahead. What about you?
Okay, so with my husband, I think that what I thought was a red flag was that there's two. One, that, if I was like hanging out with my family, like we're all hanging out with the family, and like he would kind of like dip off or like kind of like go to the other room, or maybe he'd be quiet when everyone else is like da 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 da, because my family they're talking a lot, right? On pretty much all sides. And yeah, I thought that was a red flag, but now I'm like, you know what? He knows when he needs to recharge. He knows when he needs to step back and like just have a moment. And I think that I learned that he's confident in knowing like I don't have to be in every conversation. Like he doesn't have to be a part of everything. He doesn't always have to interject his own thoughts in a conversation. But like people like me and you, we do. Like we want to be a part of the conversation. And he doesn't feel that way. And he's confident in that. So for me, I'm like, now after years of marriage, I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Like good for you. And then the other thing I would say is that I used to think that playing video games and also like watching ESPN was a red flag, because I'm like, why? That's so dumb. But honestly,
Like, what value is that?
What value? Yeah. Like, cause I'm like I want to go like get some work done, do so like, that's my escape. Be purposeful. Yeah, that's my escape. But his escape is to like go watch ESPN or play the game. And, we were in counseling one time, and the counselor was like, Jordan, why is that bad for him to go and like play the game? Like, just because your retreat looks different than his, that doesn't mean that his way of retreat or escape or relaxation is wrong. And it checked me, and I'm like, okay.
What did Will say? What does Will face?
I think I feel like he was like, yeah, he was like facts. Like he was like, oh, okay, finally somebody else said it.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to have like a third party sometimes, a counselor, to just be like, yeah. And so now, and honestly, like, I feel like ESPN, for the most part, besides the commercials, I feel like it's safe. I don't have to worry about, he's watching sportscasters talk about players. Like he's not watching anything that would like skew it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels very safe. And he said that. He's like, no, like this keeps me on track. Like I don't need to be watching other things. He knows like where his safe areas are. So yeah, now I'm like, oh, green flag. Go ahead, babe.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go put your sports on.
Yeah, put your sports on. Go play the game for sure. What red flags have you overlooked in the past? In like past relationships?
In past relationships?
Yeah.
I had an ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had a lot. I think I only ever had 2 boyfriends.
Lord.
So if you're my ex-boyfriend, I'm sorry. You're not the same anymore. I believe that. But whenever he would go like a long amount of time, he would go a long
period.
Sorry,
of
he
time.
would go through long periods of time
Yeah.
without texting me, checking in, and like just go MIA. And so I was like, hey, like, what's going on with that? Like, what are you doing? And then what he started saying was, oh, just so you know, like, I'm not going to be texting you back during this time and this time because I'm going to be with my grandma. But it would happen a lot. At first I was like,
Weird.
okay, yeah, like, cool. But it kept happening over and over again. And then one time, when he did that, I went and looked at his Twitter, and he posted that he was on a date with a girl at a restaurant.
What? And also, like, what are you doing with your grandma all the time? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? That's so weird.
Well, he's not. That's the thing. He's not with his grandma.
I know, but like to get us to believe, like
Yeah.
to get you to believe that, what are you what would you say
What
that?
would you be? I'm spending
Yeah.
quality time with her.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually I caught on. I'm like, oh, whoa. Like that's what's really going on is
That's
like,
crazy to use your grandma.
but good
as
for
a-
him for trying to be intentional with the girl he was on a date with, you know, like I'm going to give you my undivided attention.
Right. This is my boundary. My girlfriend can wait. You have my
Exactly.
undivided attention from this time. to
Exactly.
this time.
But you know what I noticed too? Whenever he was with me, he would also put his phone away. So it was
That's
kind of like,
nice.
well, he was telling his other girlfriend that he was with his grandma.
This is what you call an intentional cheater.
Yes, a very smart strategic. Yeah,
my
I just think that was like one red flag that I
Mhm.
ignored for a while, and then I realized like something smells.
Yeah.
I don't-
That is weird.
Yeah,
Okay. What's my red flag from the past?
that you ignored.
Okay, a red flag to me is when the guy would rather spend his time with his buddies than you. Like, that is weird to me. Like, you'd rather be with your homeboys all the time and not make time for me. You're with, like, that's weird. Why?
Give an example.
Okay, like, hey, do you want to go to the movies tonight? Oh no, me and the boys are playing the game. Like, legit. Or no, we're playing cards tonight. Like, this was a guy in college, and it was like every time I wanted to hang out, and I'm like, bro, like, what?
So what do you think
like,
that
what-
was?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what that. Like,
Did
I don't
he show
know.
interest in you otherwise?
For the most part?
Like did y'all talk on the phone? Like
Kind of, yeah. Like, yeah. We talked on the phone, but maybe he just wasn't that interested in me and didn't want to tell me. I don't know. But the thing is, whenever I would go hang out with him, like at his house, at his college apartment, his homeboys would be there, and we were all cool. Like, I thought everything was cool. Maybe, like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I thought I was cool with his homeboys too. I don't know. But I just feel like it's a red flag if a guy would rather be with his homeboys. Like, we're not talking about like in your young years. I think it's good. But like as you're getting into your adult years and you like can't make time for your girl, you can't make time to take them on a date or anything. Like none of that. It was like he would rather be with them than with me.
okay.
Do you have opposing
I think
thoughts?
I just think the red flag is that like he didn't show any interest
Yeah.
in like wanting to hang out with you or be with you.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, hanging out with your boys, that's fine. Like you're having fun with your boys, whatever. But just the fact that like he didn't really show interest, it's like,
Yeah.
why? What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Red flag.
That's wild. That is actually wild. Cause I'm a catch. Do you feel like your self-worth has like shot up through the roof since being married? Cause I don't know about you, but I'm like, oh, you could never, ever. Like, I just feel like I'm untouchable. My husband is the only one. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if I know now, if I knew then what I knew now, I would literally probably would have never, like, maybe never had a boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, yeah, who Devon is, other men could never, like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
think about the guys maybe I give the time of day, like, they would never have been,
Never.
I'm not gonna say never, but Devon was the right person for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I married Devon and it wasn't anybody else. I'd say that. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get into some of these submissions. So we asked the question, what red flags have you overlooked in past relationships? And I will read. A red flag is letting his parents bail him out of finances and bills and things. Literally bought a brand new Audi and then stopped paying like 6 months in, and it became the family car that only he drove. Yeah. Do you feel like it's a red flag for a guy's parents to bail him out of financial situations?
financial hardships. How often is this happening?
Right.
Was this a one-time thing?
Right.
Did he just fall in hard times? Did he lose his job?
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
was he, I guess the responsible thing, maybe it comes down to like irresponsibility.
Yeah.
Like, was the responsible thing to do was take the car back?
Mm-hmm. And then if the parents are always coming to the rescue and the person never has to step up and like try to problem solve, I think it's important to like let your kids fail sometimes.
I was gonna say, as a mom, do you think that like you
I would definitely come to the rescue. Like
I know.
But like also my mom was I just remember her and my dad saying like, well, you need to figure this out. I knew they were gonna have my back, but like they let me like stress. They let me go through it and try to figure it out. And then, you know,
Same,
when
my
they
mom
had to,
too.
they would step in. Okay, another red flag, how they carry themselves in times of adversity. Like saying, do you suffer well? Or do you bring other people down with you? Misery loves company, so when times are rough, are you still nice to me? Or do you take whatever you're going through out on me? And even down to how do you speak to the waiter when they get your order wrong? Are you rude and nasty? I think that was a really good one.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
It's like you really got to see people when they're down bad.
Yeah.
Because like in marriage, there's going to be some times where you guys are down bad. I don't know. I always think about how like I've known Devon for 17 years, whatever, however long. Been married to him for 9 years. And there's just still so much more that he hasn't seen of me. He hasn't seen me, you know, in grief through death, you know, of someone close. He hasn't seen me like in menopause or like hasn't seen me like, you know, when we first got married, he didn't see me postpartum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's going to be times where you may be experiencing that person in a way you did not think you would.
Yeah.
So I think that is really important. And I think that's just something to pay attention to. I mean, if his anger is out the roof, like as a relationship partner, I think it's like, don't ignore it, but address it and say, hey, like I noticed that you like reacted this way. Like now I'm giving advice and that's not what this is. Yeah. But like, I noticed you like reacted this way, like, you know, and just helping them like work process through that. Yeah. You know, maybe they never had someone do that for them. Maybe everyone in their life has always just allowed them to like react and like never address them.
With marriage, you know, if you truly, you know, these vows actually like mean something. It holds weight. You know, it's like it's not just like something you do or say because you feel butterflies and you like just, oh my gosh, he's amazing. But it's like when it gets really, really hard, what are you going to do? And so when you're dating and you see these red flags, just know that in marriage, are you willing to deal with this in marriage? Because marriage is already hard. So are you willing for it to be 10 times harder?
Right.
You
10
know,
times worse than
10 times
the flag
worse
that
than,
you just saw. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's hard. So it's like, it's better to choose up front the person that has the least amount of issues. I'm just kidding. But like, honestly.
Who's the less traumatized? Yeah, that's real.
Centering themselves, only talking about them, lack of self-awareness and accountability. That is definitely a red flag. I feel like you can peep that date one. Like if someone is like just all into themselves, like, and if they don't ask you a question about you, that is a red flag. That's like a red flag. Yeah. And then someone else had possessiveness. No one else can be your friend but me.
Now that's one I'm not willing to like defend. The possessiveness, the controlling, the manipulation, like that is one that I'm like, steer absolute clear of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I've definitely experienced that before. It's weird. It's really weird to look back. I'm like,
yeah, I never experienced that. So
good. You were always like rebellion.
Wonder, I always wonder how I would respond if I was ever like friends with someone or dated, like not just dated, but like friends too. Like because friends can be like that too. Yeah, like you can't. I don't want you hanging out with her. Yeah, you know, like
there's a part of me that's like, I feel like I'm very strong-willed in my own right. That it's almost like, let me challenge myself to be submissive. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is so not me. Let me challenge myself to listen to you tell me that I can't do something.
Let me be humble.
Let me, right?
You know what? I'm going to challenge myself.
Let me challenge myself. Yeah, because there's no other explanation for why I am.
Like, I am rebellious. I'm like, ew. Like, why would you tell me I can't do this? I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Like, do you think guys should share their location with their girls that they're dating?
I can see the argument, like why they shouldn't, because like it's all about trust. Like, we gotta if we don't have trust, we have nothing.
You and Devon share?
Yeah, of course. We're married though. That's different. Like if someone's like, we weren't dating during the time where like you shared location. Like that's not when like we're dating. We didn't have that. Yeah. So yeah, of course, being married. Yeah, if you're married, duh, you should totally share location.
Yes,
I mean,
I
I
agree.
wish that Devon and I did share locations when we were dating, if that was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
because we were long distance for a while. So it's nice to like, you know,
Yeah.
just check in on my little sim. My little sim character. See what he's doing.
Where's
But
that
I
little
think that
green
now,
box
I think
going?
that, yeah, why not? I don't see
Yeah.
a problem with it. And if you do have a problem with it, that's the question. If
Yeah.
someone had a problem with sharing their location,
Why?
would that be a red flag to you?
I feel like for me it would, but also like, but okay, as a girl mom, if the boyfriend wanted to share my daughter's location, I'll be like, boy, you don't need to know everything.
Oh.
You don't need to know everything about where she's going. Give her some space, have some trust. So from that side,
Wait a minute.
do you know what I mean?
I'm triggered.
You're a girl mom of 3. Why? Wait,
Because it reminds me of the time that we were at the beach and
you're childish. Go ahead.
when we were young, not Devon, Jordan's grandparents have a house by the beach, and we went with her mom for spring break. I think it was like a girls'
Another
trip,
girl and one of our other girlfriends.
and we went down to the beach, and then we're like, no, this is for girls only. Leave the boyfriends at home, or you know, and then like all of a sudden, Jordan's boyfriend at the time just pops up,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
gosh.
how? And at the time, by the way, I didn't think this was a healthy relationship. So
Yeah.
it was very annoying to me that he
Yeah.
popped up like that. And at the time I was like, how did he know? And I think at the time you were like, I don't know. He just
Yeah, well,
found
this
me.
is the thing. Yeah, he was very manipulative. He would be like, "Well, where are you gonna be? Where are you staying? Okay, which Food Lion? Is it which red light? Like he did that on another occasion when we did a family
Yes.
reunion trip, and then my parents were like, he can't come because we had asked. His mom bought him a flight anyway, and he shows up, and I felt obligated
Being flued
to
out is
see him,
crazy.
yeah, by his mom because he lied to his mom.
Yeah. And so that,
And
oh,
said
that's that he was
and said
allowed
that
to
he
go.
was allowed to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So he arrives, and we're teenagers. So like I felt bad because he flew all this way, and then his parents think that my parents are in the know, picked him up from the airport, all the things, and he's out there by himself trying to, and so I felt obligated. So I snuck out, and I told my cousin. I remember telling my cousin like, I feel like I said, no, I didn't tell her to tell on me. But when she told that he was there, I was relieved. I was like, oh, thank God. Because and that was when I realized like, this is not healthy because I'm relieved that my cousin told on me that my boyfriend came because I didn't want him to come. I felt this sense of obligation to like tell him where I was and an obligation to my family too. It was like really weird. Weird.
Offline, which cousin?
No, it could be online. Angel Gatson, girl. You have my back.
Is that
You
on
follow
Rick's
her?
side?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was her, and maybe I think it was her. I think she knew what was best for me, and I think she was like worried, and I was never mad at her. I was never mad at her for that. I was again like relieved and angry with him for coming.
I just find
honestly.
so now that I think of that, yeah, no, I don't want any kid knowing my daughter's location.
Exactly. So okay, but when dating is just different, but marriage, I think for safety reasons and just to know, I like to clean the house before my husband comes. I'm like, all right,
How much time do I have?
5 minutes? I think like
exactly.
it's share your location. But when you're dating, I don't know.
I think maybe it's a case by case.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe it's a case by case.
For sure.
Let's talk about heartbreak
Okay.
along with red flags and how it can lead to heartbreak.
Okay.
Do you recall the first time you had a heartbreak?
Yes, I do. And I think that, it's something that you and I have been talking about a little bit the past like 24 hours. So I was watching a TikTok video and it was talking about how when you get your heart broken and you are cheated on and betrayed, there's a physical reaction and neurological response to it. And the TikTok video is also talking about, that's where I get all my information. It's also talking about how it can start some abandonment issues. And I had never, it's like after I watched it, I felt this sense of like, oh, that's what it is, or that's what it was. And I'm, happily married 8 years in, and there are moments or triggers where I'm like, oh, I remember that hurt really bad. And it's like, well, I'm a grown woman in a happy, healthy marriage. So why is it something that when it comes up, I'm like, oh, that stings like that? I do feel healed, but it's like I remember it like
Yeah.
yesterday. I can remember what it felt like to be betrayed in that way. I actually asked Chat about like the psychology behind it, and Chat said heartbreak is literal stress. Romantic rejection and betrayal activate the same neural pathways as physical pain. Cortisol, the stress hormone, spikes. Appetite changes and sleep patterns get disrupted, making you feel nauseous, shaky, or sick. And that, my friends, is lovesick. Like that's,
Yeah.
lovesick. And I think that for some, it can last a really, really long time. And I think also at that age I was in high school, my first heartbreak, and I'm sure somebody else can relate to that. But I think our brains are still developing, and when you've never had love before, that was like my first real boyfriend, like for real. And there was nothing else to truly, truly compare it to. I would say I had two heartbreaks, but that was the one that like really did me in.
Yeah.
I am really grateful for green flags, and I'm grateful for the man that I chose and that chose me, because I can like sleep peacefully.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. It just really matters, like not overlooking the red flags,
Yeah.
It
I
really
also
does.
think that like red flags don't always mean stop. Okay. I'm going to say that lightly.
Okay.
Because I think what's important to me, like what I recognize is that we're all flawed. We all were raised different, different values, beliefs, customs. You know what I mean?
You said traditions?
I was going to say traditions.
Okay.
Traditions and customs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think that, and we all have flaws. Okay. So things that may not be normal to you, that you think is like weird, may not be normal, maybe normal to them because
True.
they have never been made aware. Maybe they grew up
True.
in a family where the way that they communicated was that they yelled at each other all the time.
Yeah.
But to you, you did it. You grew up in a family where like y'all were calm and like were able to communicate like calmly. And so I think, and for like, let's say that other person that grew up in a yelling family, they just thought that was normal.
Yeah.
But I think to be able to be like, okay, like this is a warning, and let me like inquire about this a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay,
and I think
yeah,
the key thing, like when you notice these red flags, here's the litmus test. Do they have a willingness to change? And do they respond to criticism well?
Yeah.
And correction well? And like have humility about them. And if they don't, and they double down and they're just like,
yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about, you're the problem.
gaslighting you.
Yeah. Then that is when you have to really like, okay. But I think that if you see those red flags initially and they're not like major detrimental red flags, obviously they're being physical.
Yeah.
They're like manipulating, controlling you, heavy.
Yeah.
I think that willingness to change and humility is so important. Yeah, James 4:6 says God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. And Proverbs, if you just want to like, honestly, Proverbs is my favorite book in the Bible.
Really?
Like for Devon and I both. Like we love Proverbs. I mean, it's just so like straightforward, like just so, I mean, they call it like the book of wisdom. You know what I mean?
is, yeah.
Proverbs 5:22-4. The reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life. Like the reward for humility.
Yeah.
Riches, honor, and life.
That's good.
Humility is just such a big thing.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the red flags.
No,
Because
I
sometimes,
love it.
sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's something that my husband, he does a really great job of like, he needs a moment. We did have different upbringings, like what you're saying. Communication styles totally different, and then we are creating a new way in our home that's different than what we both saw. And so when I tell him, like when I see things, and like God gives us wisdom in our marriages for sure, in our relationships in general, right? When I see something and I speak up about it, he'll take some time to like go and process, and then he always comes back. Like I can't think of a time in the past 5 years, right? first couple years were rough, but in the past 5 years, like I can't think of a time where he didn't come back and say, you know, I thought about this, or like I prayed about this, or you know, you were right about
Yeah.
this. And I feel like that takes a lot of humility, and I'm so grateful that he's like that, even if he has to take a moment and take a beat. But for him to come back and just be like, yeah, I was wrong, like that would like or you know, I appreciate what you said. And I think that's what really makes a marriage and a relationship strong, is to be able to lead with humbleness
Yeah.
and meekness, like the word says,
Yeah.
like Proverbs.
I also take into account, like with red flags, like take it to the people around you that you trust. And when you're dating, like date within community. Like we hear that community.
Yeah.
Bring other people into your relationship, your friends, or like your community at church.
Yeah. I wish I would have done that.
If you're like in isolation and that person is like forcing you to be in isolation, like that's such a major red flag. Because the thing is, like, you might have blind spots. You may be so blinded by
Yeah.
the love that you can't see any potential cracks in the relationship. And if you have concerns, it's good to be able to take those things to people you trust, not in a way that's gonna like dishonor your significant other or like gossip or anything, but just saying like, hey, like, how can I approach this? I noticed this. Like, how can I approach this?
Yeah.
What do you think about this? You know?
Yeah. And I agree. And I think it takes a level of humility to even have other people in your relationship holding you accountable, or to go to and, you know, to ask for wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
that's
everybody's
good.
going to do that.
That's good. Thank you guys for submitting like your red flags. By
Yes,
the way, I forgot to say that. Follow us on Instagram at Love to the Girls. We're going to be posting constantly like submissions so that we can share with you all. I mean, we don't want this podcast to just be about us. We want to hear your stories and hear your input as well. So be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Yes.
All the places.
All the places.
And be sure to share this episode with someone you think would love it. Thanks for watching Love to the Girls. And remember, it's always love to the girls from the girls.